Spotlight Tale. Host Shah Fazli. Guest Tara Scott. Shah Fazli. Tara Scott. Thank you so much for joining Spotlight. We are so pleased. So many of your friends, family and fans are following your event, and it will go live to many other sites. What do you want to say to everybody, please? Tara Scott. Thanks so much for having me, Shah Fazli. I'm pleased to be here. Shah Fazli. Thanks. Do you want to share any good news about your book? Anything. Good sales, good reviews, good comments, anything please. Tara Scott. Sure thing. My latest release, the Scottish historical My Highland Love, is off to a very nice start. I have 2 great reviews on Goodreads and fabulous feedback from a few fans. Shah Fazli. What do those reviews and feedback say, Tara? Can you share a few words or sentences, please? Tara Scott. I can. Christina Hecker said, set in the beautiful Scottish Highlands, this tale of love and second chances truly shines among other Highland novels. If you're looking for the next greatest Highland tale, pick this one up. Musing Sally had some lovely words to say as well. Marcus is this intense, brooding and determined throughout the entire novel. Romantic. He crosses oceans just to protect the memory of his beloved and is the reason he and Elise remain together. For his dedication to Elise alone, My Highland Love is a worthy read. Shah Fazli. Thanks. No wonder why we hear other good news about your book. Is that correct? Has it won an award as well? Tell us about it, please. Or it is not correct? Tara Scott. The award I recently won was the Golden Rose Award for Best Historical in 2011. The award for my Scottish historical Lord Keeper, which was published last year. Maybe I'll be fortunate enough to have My Highland Love win an award this year. Shah Fazli. Oh, all right. The important thing is that you as an author have the award, no matter which one. Tell us about My Highland Love. We love to feel the love. Tara Scott. ROFL. My Highland Love is set in the Georgian period, 1825, just a little past the Regency period. The hero is a Scottish lord and son of a duke. The heroine is an American shipping heiress shipwrecked in Scotland. She has secrets. Here's the blurb for a quick peek. Elise Kingston is a wanted woman. Nothing, not even Highlander Marcus McGregor, will stop her from returning home to ensure that the man responsible for her daughter's death hangs. Until she must choose between his life and her revenge. Shah Fazli. What made you write this book? Where you got the idea from? Do you read a lot of such books, or is it something else? Tara Scott. When I first got the book to write, I read absolutely every Scottish historical I could get my hands on. I really did love them. Still do. When I finally gave in to the desire to write, I knew I wanted to write historical. I'm very enamored with the classics, and longed to be able to write with elegant language. When I began to research Scottish history, I came across the Highland clearances and was compelled to make that my political background. The tortured hero was, and still is, very popular. However, I wanted to write about a romantic hero who knew what he wanted and wasn't afraid to go for it. Therefore, Marcus McGregor was born. Of course, he needed a woman who would challenge him in ways he hadn't dreamed. Elise Landon came into his life. Shah Fazli. Fascinating. Did you have to travel to Scotland yourself, or have you been there in the past? Doesn't matter. We want you to describe a few places in your book, the houses, the people, briefly please. Tara Scott. Perhaps in a past life. Not in this life, however, at least not yet. Describe a few places. Much of the book takes place in the McGregor Keep in the Scottish Highlands. The keep is a large compound with many cottages within the walls and, of course, the castle. When you enter the castle from the postern, or side door as we would call it, you're in the great hall where the meals were served. Marcus is an educated man, so he has a full library and there is a woman's cellar for the ladies' entertainment. The keep overlooks the beautiful Loch Katrine. I researched the area and placed the castle overlooking this fabulous lake. Shah Fazli. Thanks. Tell us about My Highland Love a little more, please. A few more about your main characters would be great. Tara Scott. Marcus is, of course, a man of his time, a good leader and a man who likes women. ROFL. But that is a man in just about any time, isn't it? Elise is strong, but maybe a bit headstrong. Not unusual for a woman either. At least the man might think so. They are evenly matched, and give each other a run for their money. They encounter adventure and even face off with the villain. Shah Fazli, do you want to tell us about the beginning of the story? How did you start with putting your story into writing the book? Where does it start, please? Tara Scott. The story begins with Elise on a ship bound for England. Her daughter is ill with a mysterious disease, but on the trip she dies. Elise believes her husband poisoned their daughter. Her suspicions are confirmed when he tries to kill her on the voyage. Shah Fazli, what is the role of your male character in the book? What is he mostly busy with? Searching for the heroine, getting involved in fightings. What? Tara Scott. It's romance. Shah Fazli. He's involved in chasing the heroine. Heh. This heroine does manage to get the hero into quite a bit of trouble. She does save herself a time or two, but he has a few sword fights along the way. He has to piece together the clues of her past. Something she makes very difficult for him. Shah Fazli, can you read from your book, please? Tara Scott. Certainly. He shrugged. A wife is always in her husband's bed. His gaze made a possessive sweep over her body. She lowered the glass from her lips. Are you saying you're marrying me to ensure my availability? His wince quick, nay, confirmed the assessment. I am marrying you because I love you and want you at my side. A tremor passed through her at the declaration of love given so naturally, but she gave a feminine snort and retorted, a masculine play on words. Nay, he denied even more vehemently. Elise regarding her more closely. You're jealous. Jealous. His expression snapped to a stormy darkness. Of whom? She waved her glass, dodging the liquid that sloshed over the room and onto the carpet. The funny part is, she should have created a fictional love long ago. You were afraid I would want someone else. He looked startled and she couldn't help but laugh. Elise placed a glass on the sideboard and came to stand in front of him. A fuzzy sensation in her belly made her feel reckless. Wrapping one arm around his neck, she caressed his jaw with her free hand. She ran her gaze in a purposeful, slow motion from his mouth to his eyes. Perhaps I should have considered another application or two for my hand. His arm shot around her. She squealed with the hard yank of her body against his. I am marrying you because I cannot live without you, he growled. Shah Fazli, we would love it if you could give us one or two romantic scenes from your book. You make us cry, please. Tara Scott. Sure thing. I have to go. She turned. Marcus dropped his hand to her side. Where will you go? She halted. Relief flooded through him. She wanted him. He stood and crossed to her. Come. He grasped her hand and drew her to the couch. He sat, then gave a gentle but firm yank to her hand, and she tumbled onto his lap. I cannot, she began, but he cut in. Let us be honest. I have been. You say, he continued. You will be my mistress now that you know I never planned to marry Margaret. I never. But wouldn't it be more honest to admit you love me? Her eyes widened. You can trust me. Marcus discerned a quickening of her breath. He'd hit the mark. Do you know, he added, I love you. Elise gasped. He felt the muscles in her body tense in readiness to push from his lap and tightened his hold. She thrashed, though without real violence, and he gripped her chin, turning her face toward his. Admit you love me. He kissed her. She tried pulling away, but he held fast, his mouth gentle until he felt a slight tug when she grasped his shirt. He released her mouth and buried his face in her hair. Can you deny what you feel for me? You don't know, can't possibly know. I know all I need. Shah Fazli, thank you so much. What else do you want us to know about your book? Do you want to tell us a little about some of the problems your main character faces? A few of them, please. Tara Scott. Oh yes. Marcus must face the fact that the woman he fell in love with was more the goddess he created in his mind than the real woman with flaws. I believe this is a challenge that love throws in our way, no matter the era in which we live. Elise had to choose between her grief and the well-being of the man in her life. Too late, she realized she may not have chosen as wisely as she should have. Their challenges transcend time and place and, I hope, speak to the heart. Shah Fazli, we have a few minutes. What would be your message to those who read your book? Maybe you have something to say. Tara Scott, feel free to drop me a line and let me know what you thought about the book and what you might like to see in the next book. It's great fun talking with readers. Shah Fazli, and your tips to other writers, please. Tara Scott, write a lot. Read, read, read. Then write a whole bunch more. Find 1 or 2 people who will give you their honest opinion of your work. Then take it to heart and write a lot more. Shah Fazli, thanks for being our guest tonight. Such a joy. We enjoyed every minute. Shah Fazli, this is Shah Site Shop. Blogspot.de, My Highland Love. Shah Site Literary Bookshop. My Highland Love. Tara Scott, thank you for having me, Shah Fazli. It was a real pleasure. Shah Fazli, to book your interview, join www.facebook.com/beinthespotlight. Live Facebook interview with authors and readers. As an author, you get the opportunity to interact with the readers. Ask for an interview by joining